Stop purchasing inexpensive firearms simply because they offered minor savings at the checkout counter. Here remains the reality. Many hunters assume that any standard bolt-action firearm suffices to stock the freezer, yet such an approach risks missing the critical opportunity when precision truly matters. You trek several miles deep into remote wilderness with your breathing labored and icy precipitation lashing at your skin while depending on a low-cost option to deliver pinpoint accuracy beyond 300 yards. Today, we eliminate the unnecessary burden. I am examining 13 precision hunting rifles that genuinely prove their worth during actual pursuits. These do not qualify as mere practice pieces. They function as essential instruments designed to secure game when conditions deteriorate completely. Entering the ranking at position 15 comes the Howa 1500 Superlite. Consider this option if you seek authentic Japanese engineering without needing to trade away your vehicle for the purchase price, as this firearm serves as the understated performer that frequently appears in dedicated wilderness loads. I have carried one across demanding elk terrain amid saturated and dense snowfall where progress felt exhausting. Yet the equipment never registered as extra load or failed during key instances. The mechanism operates with exceptional fluidity, featuring the standard two-lug design along with a 60-degree lift that provides rapid clearance around optics, allowing quick chambering of the next cartridge to avoid self-impact should the target animal emerge abruptly into view. Howa constructs these using a durable, lightweight synthetic stock capable of withstanding harsh treatment, while Superlite variants offer a carbon fiber-wrapped barrel choice that reduces mass yet preserves the necessary stiffness for steady performance following extended ascents. The cold hammer forged barrel stands as the primary strength, providing exceptional longevity and precision that remains stable whether temperatures rise or environmental factors worsen dramatically. The HACD two-stage trigger delivers a sharp, clean release featuring minimal travel, which builds assurance for executing accurate fire at 400 yards free from hesitation. Pair it with common hunting cartridges such as 6.5 Creedmoor or 308 Winchester to possess a firearm that extends reach, effectively achieves humane harvests, and maintains approximately 6 pounds when equipped with optics and prepared for use. The feature distinguishing this model among numerous costly high-elevation alternatives involves its affordability, since Howa supplies almost customized capability at typical retail costs ranging from $800 to $1,200 based on specific setup and selection of the carbon barrel enhancement. At that price, level 1 obtains a firearm sharing the action heritage of Weatherby together with additional premium labels without the elevated cost premium. This demonstrates that sub-MOA accuracy and dependable operation in challenging environments do not require titanium components or advanced innovations. To remain honest, the stock appears simpler compared to elaborate monocoque carbon designs found on models priced 3 times higher. It may exhibit slight movement during strong magnum recoil when employing hotter options like a 300 Win mag, and lacks the specialized texture or adjustable cheek piece of luxury versions. Nevertheless, this remains precisely the reason it suits cost-conscious mountain enthusiasts effectively, since the focus stays on essential function rather than showy elements during exhausting efforts where the opportunity demands reliability. Absent unnecessary features or justifications, it relies on robust construction that exceeds expectations for its cost category and frees resources for quality sites, footwear, or permits over yet another elaborate display item stored away. Should you grow weary of listening to others boast regarding unaffordable firearms while continuing to provide for your table, select the Howa 1500 Superlite, master its characteristics, and observe the manner in which an intelligent, straightforward approach renders elevated terrain somewhat more manageable. Stepping up to number 14 arrives the Kimber mountain Ascent. Should a firearm exist that evolved specifically for the demanding high-elevation challenges causing many hunters to reconsider their decisions, this qualifies as the prime example. I have transported one of these through goat habitat featuring punishing ground on each stride along with unstable loose rock knife-like ridges and intense climbs in elevation, yet at below 5 pounds absent the optic attached it hardly registers during those extended demanding treks. The rifle slips from awareness until the instant arrives to fire, and this quality proves ideal while spending extended periods behind optics before locating that billy or ram near the limit of responsible distance. At the core of this firearm rests a controlled round-feed Mauser-style mechanism validated across the most severe settings for more than 100 years combined with a sturdy three-position safety, providing complete assurance no matter if the bolt remains closed, partially raised for loading, or entirely secured. The bolt travels with exceptional ease as though moving along refined surfaces, remaining consistent and dependable even after the firearm accumulates layers of dust, snow, or mud throughout prolonged outings. Manufacturers selected a stainless steel barrel, spiral fluted it to eliminate mass without reducing strength, and enclosed the entire structure within a Kevlar carbon fiber stock of remarkable resilience, allowing impacts against stones, pulling through vegetation, or drops into rocky slopes, while returning with unchanged zero, as if unaffected. This stock exceeds mere reduced mass through deliberate design that resists bending under pressure, ensuring group sizes stay tight during shots from unconventional stances or following demanding journeys. Stepping up to number 14 arrives the Kimber Mountain Ascent. Should a firearm exist that evolved specifically for the demanding high-elevation challenges causing many hunters to reconsider their decisions, this qualifies as the prime example. I have transported one of these through goat habitat featuring punishing ground on each stride, along with unstable loose rock knife-like ridges and intense climbs in elevation, yet at below 5 pounds, absent the optic attached, it hardly registers during those extended demanding treks. The rifle slips from awareness until the instant arrives to fire, and this quality proves ideal while spending extended periods behind optics before locating that billy or ram near the limit of responsible distance. At the core of this firearm rests a controlled round-feed Mauser-style mechanism validated across the most severe settings for more than 100 years combined with a sturdy three-position safety, providing complete assurance no matter if the bolt remains closed, partially raised for loading, or entirely secured. The bolt travels with exceptional ease as though moving along refined surfaces, remaining consistent and dependable even after the firearm accumulates layers of dust, snow, or mud throughout prolonged outings. Manufacturers selected a stainless steel barrel, spiral fluted it to eliminate mass without reducing strength, and enclosed the entire structure within a Kevlar carbon fiber stock of remarkable resilience, allowing impacts against stones, pulling through vegetation. Coming in at number 13, the Proof Research Glacier T. This firearm essentially defies physical constraints regarding weight reduction while preserving full capability. I have subjected one to rigorous testing amid strong Wyoming gusts during observation of pronghorn over expansive areas and carrying a precision setup below 6 pounds that performs like dedicated range equipment seems nearly unjust. The foundation involves Proof titanium action joined to their superior carbon-wrapped barrel, where the wrapping exceeds cosmetic purposes by rapidly dissipating heat, stabilizing the bore, and preserving impact point during suppressor use or multiple rapid shots at moving targets. The mechanism qualifies as fully custom level with compact, smooth operation, cycling fluidly despite accumulation of dust or ice, and providing perfect feeding on each cycle. The stock consists of a firm carbon fiber structure resisting deformation under bipod pressure or sling tension during ascents, maintaining zero consistency across distances. Chamber options include 6.5 PRC for exceptionally flat paths or 300 WSM for enhanced power on sizable game at range, and with the complete assembly near 5.8 pounds without optics, one avoids hauling heavy equipment through rocky slopes or dense forest. The distinguishing quality involves Proof combining specialized materials with practical hunting durability, where titanium substantially lowers mass versus steel while retaining integrity, and the carbon barrel contributes firmness alongside reduced weight that would otherwise fatigue during extended expeditions. This represents the selection for situations where the opportunity arises at 400 or 500 yards following lengthy travel requiring sub-MOA consistency, without becoming a delicate display piece. To remain candid, this does not represent an economical choice. Current street pricing exceeds $3,000, frequently approaching $3,500 or higher, depending on specific assembly and chambering, placing it solidly in aspirational territory for numerous hunters. The elevated cost stems from hand-laid carbon construction, precision machined titanium, and uncompromising development applied to each element. Conversely, titanium mechanisms of this type require consistent lubrication, otherwise the bolt may develop resistance following several hundred rounds or dirty exposure, necessitating diligent care during rugged wilderness travel. Recoil from hotter loadings will still indicate the reduced mass, yet quality brakes or suppressors moderate it effectively. In summary, for dedicated backcountry pursuits seeking the lightest precision base that operates as a functional, dependable field instrument instead of a costly novelty, the proof research Glacier T proves exceptionally difficult to surpass. Number 12 brings us the Seekins Precision Havak PH3. This firearm serves as a mountain hunter essential, presented in the form of an ultralight wilderness setup, and receives construction from the foundation to vanish on the pack frame, yet still deliver impacts precisely on target. I transported one across harsh Colorado high terrain during the previous season, involving steep rocky sections with strong winds where additional mass feels equivalent to hauling stones, and the folding stock compresses it compactly enough to fit securely in the pack without rattling or catching vegetation. When the bull eventually appeared at 400 yards following prolonged observation, the carbon fiber-wrapped barrel combined with the sturdy precision mechanism produced an accurate strike that harvested cleanly, without zero shift or complications. The 3-lug bolt configuration supplies a smooth 60-degree lift, providing clearance for elevated optics without knuckle contact, enabling rapid subsequent shots should circumstances change suddenly. The adjustable cheek piece permits fine-tuning for ideal sight alignment regardless of the optic or mounting hardware attached, and near 6 pounds without optics, the overall setup offers balance suited for offhand stability or prone positioning on a ridge using a bipod. The trigger tech trigger releases with the sharpness of fragile material under strain, free from travel, fully adjustable to lower settings if preferred, while the muzzle brake controls recoil in powerful options like 7mm PRC or 300 PRC, allowing extension of responsible distances without prolonged shoulder discomfort afterward. Seekins avoided merely combining reduced weight elements, instead developing the receiver and bedding for alignment that sustains tight groups despite rough treatment or variations in temperature, and the carbon barrel dissipates warmth quickly while retaining firmness, so point of impact remains consistent during suppressed operation or sequences fired in low temperatures. The characteristic elevating this rifle among numerous lightweight alternatives involves merging authentic custom-level precision with sub-MOA capability from the factory in the majority of chamberings, alongside genuine wilderness versatility that avoids requiring delicate handling. It does not represent the most affordable selection available, exceeding $2,000 at base level and rising rapidly with additions like the folding stock, customizable elements, or upgraded finishes, yet the cost appears reasonable considering the capability when depending on a single accurate placement to provide sustenance after expending significant energy over multiple days. To speak candidly, the superior construction quality requires regular lubrication and discourages treating it as an indestructible beater. Similar to lower-cost models, the folding component proves durable, yet demands some attention during severe conditions. For the hunter unwilling to sacrifice accuracy despite difficult ground, and desiring a firearm that integrates as a natural extension while transporting with minimal presence, the Seekins Havak PH3 justifies inclusion on every departure from established paths. Rounding out at number 11, the Sako 90 Peak. This finished creation represents the innovative addition transforming the ultralight mountain firearm category, and after shouldering it, one comprehends the growing admiration from experienced wilderness pursuers. I carried one far into sheep territory during the prior autumn, where surplus weight registers like hauling stones, and the item essentially disappeared on the pack frame at slightly below 6 pounds, equipped with optics and prepared for deployment. The appeal originates from the carbon fiber stock, which remains firm, resilient, and structured to absorb shocks without bending or altering zero amid scrambling across loose rock or collisions with stones throughout approaches. Combine that with the fluted stainless barrel, reducing mass, yet preserving necessary firmness for extending fire beyond 500 yards, resulting in a firearm that transports effortlessly while performing at precision bench standards. The core element consists of the renowned Sako mechanism operating with exceptional smoothness due to a precise 70-degree bolt lift, maintaining clearance from the optic for swift follow-ups should the ram depart quickly. The 3-lug bolt head allows complete removal without tools, making on-site maintenance or exchanges straightforward despite cold or fatigued hands. From initial use, the trigger permits adjustment to a sharp, clean release, supporting confident long-distance shots absent travel or unexpected activation. The cold hammer forged barrel constitutes another Sako signature, delivering outstanding groups immediately and retaining zero amid heavy precipitation, low temperatures, and rugged use that would disrupt inferior options. Chamber it with flat trajectory selections like 6.5 PRC, 7mm PRC, or even 300 Win Mag to obtain substantial distance without converting the firearm into an punishing recoil source, particularly with the threaded muzzle prepared for a break or suppressor to moderate any emerging kick. The feature distinguishing the Sako 90 Peak among various lightweight competitors involves uniting traditional European precision craftsmanship alongside contemporary minimal mass construction, providing sub-MOA results and reliable feeding despite grit accumulation from paths, all while avoiding the specialized costs of complete custom assemblies. Current street pricing centers near $2,500, occasionally decreasing during promotions or increasing with enhanced setups, creating an advantageous position more accessible than numerous titanium mechanism ultralights, yet supplying precision and dependability exceeding that mass range. Naturally, perfection remains absent. The sub-6-pound configuration causes recoil in stronger magnums to intensify if positioning falters or during offhand fire in breezy conditions requiring firm commitment behind the firearm. The synthetic stock provides reliable hold in arid environments, yet during saturated conditions, it may become somewhat slippery absent hand coverings, and the cost continues to challenge relative to economical standards. Nevertheless, facing a rare opportunity at 10,000 feet elevation following extended arduous travel, the final consideration desired involves uncertainty regarding equipment. Stepping up to number 9, the Wilson Combat NULA Model 20. Consider this if you belong among those hunters focused on removing every available ounce from the load without compromising the precision needed to secure game at substantial ranges, as this firearm receives construction precisely for that purpose. I carried one far into sheep territory during the previous season, ascending slopes, where surplus weight registered like transporting concrete blocks, and in configurations below 5 pounds without optics, this item essentially disappeared from the back throughout those extended, demanding journeys. Wilson Combat expanded their NULA series and developed it with a titanium receiver matched to a superior carbon fiber-wrapped barrel cutting mass, while retaining the firmness essential for steady groups at extended distances. The controlled round feed bolt operates with exceptional fluidity despite coverage in mud, snow, or path debris, and the short-action configuration cycles rapidly, allowing continued focus on the target should the ram depart suddenly or demand a swift additional shot. The stock consists of a straightforward carbon arrangement sufficiently rigid to preserve zero amid severe temperature changes and impacts from stones without introducing excess volume. Chamberings such as 6.5 Creedmoor, 7mm PRC, or even 300 PRC supply flat paths and considerable distance without transforming the firearm into burdensome equipment dreaded on uphill travel all day. The trigger offers crisp response and adjustability directly from the package, breaking cleanly to support accurate shots amid elevated heart rates from height. Additionally, the threaded muzzle permits attachment of a brake to reduce recoil or a suppressor during pursuits in silent areas where sound becomes relevant. The aspect elevating this rifle further involves Wilson Combat, supplying almost custom capability without requiring entry into a complete made-to-order assembly that might double or triple expenses. One acquires aerospace-level components and detailed development rivaling firearms at twice the cost regarding mass reduction and dependability, which explains its superior performance within the category for committed mountain enthusiasts unwilling to accept lesser shot placement merely to conserve funds. Now we address honestly the compromises. This does not qualify as an economical firearm, with street pricing positioned above $3,000, frequently increasing based on specific chambering and selected editions. Such expenditure registers noticeably, particularly against capable alternatives at half the amount. Furthermore, the extreme lightness causes recoil from larger magnum chamberings to strike forcefully if positioning deviates slightly or during offhand attempts from unstable stances following extended approaches. One must remain firmly situated behind it with squared shoulders, otherwise it delivers greater discomfort than heavier alternatives. It also avoids selection as equipment to subject to rough treatment like economical standards, instead requiring attentive handling to maintain the titanium mechanism operating without resistance across extended periods. Yet facing a rare ram at 800 yards following days of expended effort, where every avoided ounce represents success, the NULA Model 20 emerges as one of the premier examples of minimal mass mountain capability. It constitutes the variety of instrument prompting reflection on previous use of heavier options in elevated terrain. Number 8 is the Browning X-Bolt 2 Mountain Pro SPR. Browning has advanced considerably with recent improvements, and this elevation-focused variant appears developed specifically for the demanding high country conditions, distinguishing functional hunting firearms from those appealing primarily in display. I have transported this firearm amid heavy rainfall across steep, slippery slopes, where each movement evaluated equipment, and it never registered as burdensome load hindering progress. The carbon fiber stock receives substantial influence from Peak 44 concepts, providing that minimal mass sensation near 6 pounds, equipped with optics and prepared, while supplying durable textured grip securing against the shoulder despite saturated or soiled gloves. The characteristics separating this model within wilderness selections involves Browning incorporating extensive intelligent practical capability into a firearm, avoiding excessive financial demand. The mechanism functions with notable smoothness, using a 60-degree bolt lift, raising briefly and rapidly clearing the optic without contact, so cycling returns focus instantly when the bull appears following prolonged observation. The fluted barrel reduces mass without diminishing required firmness for extending shots beyond 400 yards and maintains consistency amid temperature variations or suppressor application for discretion on shared property. The adjustable feather trigger permits setting to sharp response free from travel at preferred levels, generally near 3 pounds, supporting exact shots absent unexpected release. One also benefits from the rotary magazine, supplying dependable feeding consistently regardless of orientation or contamination, along with a threaded muzzle prepared for a break to moderate magnum recoil in cartridges like 300 Win Mag or 7mm PRC, or a suppressor in restricted noise locations. It offers excellent balance suitable for offhand use in dense timber or stability from supports on exposed alpine terrain, and the complete assembly vanishes on the pack throughout extended approaches. Now we address honestly the reasons this rifle exceeds expectations for its cost level. Current street pricing centers between $1,500 and $1,800 based on specific setup, and retailer representing exceptional value relative to custom options exceeding $3,000 or titanium specialized models achieving comparable results. One obtains nearly custom-grade elements, including carbon stock smooth mechanism, suppressor compatible threading, and full adjustability, absent the specialized component premium inflating expenses on similar mass firearms. This accessibility derives from Browning intelligent production methods and established designs, instead of pursuing exclusive advanced developments, resulting in a firearm sufficiently dependable to rely upon for the season without delicate treatment like a display item. Naturally, limitations exist at this mass. The reduced weight causes recoil from hotter loads to intensify if positioning lacks proper alignment, and although the carbon stock withstands field conditions adequately, it may exhibit minor flex under significant pressure or intensive bench style shooting versus complete billet custom frames. Yet for the hunter seeking a versatile mountain firearm abundant in features, exceptionally capable, and avoiding financial strain following optic and ammunition purchases, the X-Bolt 2 Mountain Pro SPR qualifies as one of those uncommon options, supplying substantially greater value than its price and genuinely securing position in the vehicle season after season. Dropping to number 7, the Bergara Premier MgLite. Consider this if you pursue serious reduction of every excess ounce from the mountain setup without diminishing the precision, establishing Bergara reputation as this magnesium chassis powerhouse deserves close examination. I transported one deep into those severe wind-driven high areas where progress extracts a toll on each stride, and near 5.5 to 6 pounds without optics it transported as though absent vanishing on the pack throughout extended approaches while permitting concentration on observation instead of battling exhaustion. The primary innovation originates from the carbon-wrapped barrel, maintaining firmness and stability despite significant temperature fluctuations or sequences fired to verify zero. Following demanding travel, it supplies those sub-MOA groups enduring rain, dust, and low temperatures without deviation. Bergara Premier Action constitutes the established platform. They continue refining with notably fluid operation, flawless cartridge delivery, even amid debris intrusion from movement through loose rock or vegetation, and the floating bolt head configuration secures complete lockup consistently. For repeatable accuracy, one relies upon when the firing opportunity narrows and the target reaches the boundary of responsible distance. The Trigger Tech trigger releases sharply and cleanly absent travel, permitting confident, precise shots without hesitation, and the overall minimal arrangement accommodates AICS-compatible magazines, avoiding struggles with specialized components during rapid reloads. Chamber it with flat trajectory selections like 6.5 PRC, 7mm PRC, or even 300 PRC to obtain substantial distance extending far without converting the pack into burdensome cargo or delivering punishing recoil owing to intelligent mass balance and an available brake. The quality distinguishing this rifle among numerous ultralight alternatives involves integrating Bergara established Spanish barrel production tradition, cold hammer forged and hand-lapped for uniformity, alongside contemporary mass reduction techniques, such as the magnesium chassis, eliminating pounds where steel or aluminum would contribute, them delivering top-tier precision within an arrangement genuinely suitable for multi-day wilderness expeditions rather than mere shelf appeal. Now we address, honestly, the compromises. This occupies premium positioning with street pricing near $3,000 currently, occasionally higher, depending on specific setup, and chambering representing meaningful expenditure, placing it beyond initial serious mountain configurations for many. The magnesium structure delivers remarkable lightness and strength, yet requires additional care, avoiding forceful contact with stones or severe drops, since marks or shocks may influence bedding alignment eventually if neglected. It avoids classification as the durable option tossed into vehicle storage like economical standards, yet this represents the exchange when pursuing the minimal mass hunting firearm still performing at custom standards. At number 5, the Savage 110 Carbon Predator distinguishes itself as one of the most intelligent selections within the lightweight precision hunting category currently. I have personally carried this firearm across 3 demanding days of dense vegetation and difficult ground pursuing coyotes, and it integrated seamlessly, never prompting reconsideration of the decision. Many individuals associate the Savage name with basic economical options displayed affordably, yet this Carbon Predator constitutes an entirely separate design created for dedicated hunters seeking genuine capability without substantial financial commitment. The prominent element involves the partnership with Proof Research, incorporating a stainless steel core enclosed in authentic aerospace-grade carbon fiber, and this exceeds superficial addition. That carbon enclosure disperses bore heat considerably quicker than conventional all-steel barrels, meaning point of impact remains stable even with suppressor application, trapping warmth or rapid successive shots during pursuits. One avoids thermal movement affecting heavier barrels, permitting confidence in zero from initial dawn attempts through the 5th following extended approach. Combined with this comes the established AccuTrigger releasing with notable cleanliness, resembling a brittle twig fracturing in silent surroundings absent travel, and with appropriate sharpness, allowing exact shot timing free from uncertainty. I have utilized the 308 Winchester configuration featuring the 22-inch barrel, and overall balance proves ideal for genuine field application, sufficiently light for full-day transport without tiredness, yet steady enough for prone positioning or pack support, maintaining control during extended shots. An additional beneficial detail involves the adjustable AccuStock arrangement, permitting modification of length of pull and comb elevation, so the firearm conforms personally as though produced to order, which proves significant when layering clothing in frigid wilderness conditions. Current street pricing centers near $1,700, occasionally decreasing during promotions, and at that level one obtains carbon fiber barrel technology, established mechanism, and sub-MOA capability from the package exceeding typical expectations within this cost bracket. This constitutes the genuine appeal. Here Savage supplies premium attributes, including thermal control and steady precision, at pricing allowing allocation toward quality optics suppressors or additional ammunition instead of compelling selection among essentials. Naturally, we address honestly the limitations to clarify the commitment. Even at $1,700, the bolt lift may register somewhat resistant compared to effortless operation on authentic high-end custom mechanisms costing 3 or 4 times more. It features spiral fluting and functionality, yet lacks complete smoothness during rapid stressed operation. The pronounced granite texture on the AccuFit stock secures effectively with gloved hands, particularly amid wet or snowy environments, yet bare cheek contact, without covering risks abrasion following extended periods against the stock. Moving up to number 4, the Tikka T3x Superlite. Many dedicated Tikka enthusiasts likely prepare critical responses, yet consider the perspective and share experiences if this level of minimal mass firearm has ever proven dependable during actual decisive moments amid severe wilderness challenges. This represents the firearm developed specifically for the enthusiast, prioritizing mass elimination over prestige associated with substantial custom assemblies. I have transported this stainless steel variant throughout continuous heavy precipitation periods that would degrade inferior options into corroded relics, and it continues operating fluidly and consistently, without interruptions or complications. The primary innovation resides within the established Tikka mechanism, featuring a refined two-lug bolt, incorporating a smooth 70-degree lift, transforming field performance. Standard bolt designs require complete 90-degree elevation, causing knuckle contact against the scope base repeatedly, which delays action during critical instances involving startled elk or immediate additional shots. The Tikka abbreviated lift provides optic clearance with exceptional speed, permitting continued focus on the objective and return to observation without disrupting sequence. It integrates into an extremely basic synthetic stock essentially devoid of mass, trimming the complete firearm to slightly above 6 pounds without optics, enabling it to disappear on the pack frame throughout extended approaches or multi-day expeditions where surplus weight equates to hauling stones. Such reduced construction explains its popularity among mountain enthusiasts traversing significant elevation who transport it daily without shoulder discomfort by evening. The cold hammer forged barrel constitutes another highlight as Tikka barrels gain recognition for exceeding expectations in their cost category, supplying uniform sub-MOA precision immediately from the package and chamberings, such as 308 Winchester 6.5 Creedmoor or 7mm. 08, permitting extension of responsible distances without doubting group performance. The decisive element elevating this rifle substantially beyond its mass involves acquiring a Tikka T3x Superlite, near $1,100, current street pricing occasionally lower, during promotions representing remarkable worth when obtaining finish engineering excellence, established dependability, and a base prepared for suppressors with threaded muzzles on the majority of variants. At that cost level, the acquisition exceeds a simple firearm, providing instead an instrument validated across sheep pursuits, elk within dense forest, and mule deer on expansive areas without failure. Now we address honestly the compromises, since no firearm achieves perfection. The minimal mass configuration transmits recoil and options like 308 Winchester with notable sharpness and intensity, delivering forceful impact unless one maintains secure positioning through proper technique and firm shoulder contact. The polymer detachable magazine supplies flawless feeding and releases cleanly upon activation, yet registers somewhat synthetic and elementary relative to steel variants on firearms priced twice as much. The stock supplies adequate surface for hold during damp or gloved conditions, yet lacks the elaborate carbon construction visible on premium models, so it avoids excelling in visual assessment. Now we reach the elite level with number 3, the Weatherby Mark V Backcountry 2.0 Carbon. When venturing into elevated alpine zones featuring reduced oxygen, constant breezes, and surplus mass equivalent to stones 1 depends exclusively on firearms demonstrating capacity to endure punishment while performing when the bull elk emerges at 400 yards. This firearm receives development specifically for such survival-oriented pursuits or extended wilderness evaluation, representing the variety, inspiring preparedness for any challenges the peak's present weather elk during September or preparation for contingency paths should circumstances deteriorate. The essential element creating distinction involves Weatherby, renowned Mark V mechanism, featuring 9-lug bolt construction, securing firmly and supplying one of the most abbreviated bolt movements available at merely 54 degrees. This enables rapid bolt operation without knuckle impact against the scope eyepiece, which proves vital during ridge observation, requiring swift additional shots prior to target departure. They combine that mechanism with a tensioned carbon fiber barrel, enclosing a stainless core reducing complete mass to approximately 5.8 pounds, while preserving barrel firmness and stability following shot sequences or suppressor attachment on the threaded muzzle. Thermal dispersal surpasses conventional steel barrels, preventing point-of-impact deviation when temperatures rise during quick cycles or suppressed additional shots. To moderate recoil within this minimal platform, since magnum chamberings and lightweight firearms can still deliver punishment, Weatherby incorporated their 3DX recoil pad consisting of three-dimensional printed lattice designed compressing and distributing force rather than transmitting directly into the shoulder. This converts abrupt impact into controlled, manageable pressure, permitting sustained aim and quicker recovery. The stock features sponge camouflage patterning, proving functional for integration with rocky, snowy, or vegetated surroundings, and the complete frame maintains rigidity without superfluous volume. Now we address honestly the reasons this rifle secures elite positioning along with limitations preventing universal appeal. Current street pricing centers near $3,300, occasionally reduced during opportunities, yet represents significant expenditure exceeding typical investment for most hunters on such equipment. The cost covers the superior mechanism, carbon fiber innovation, advanced recoil pad, and engineering sustaining consistency amid harsh environments. It avoids affordability, and the financial impact registers more intensely than recoil itself. Conversely, the sponge camouflage appearance integrates effectively from afar in natural settings, yet closer inspection reveals texture resembling irregular application rather than refined custom aesthetics preferred by some. The reduced mass benefits daily transport along steep terrain, yet transmits every element of recoil in larger chamberings should positioning vary slightly. Getting closer to the crown, number 2 is the Christensen Arms Ridgeline FFT Titanium. During ascents covering 9,000 feet of demanding elevation, while pursuing elk or sheep in oxygen-depleted atmosphere that strains respiration on each stride, the final concern involves surplus mass converting the pack into an instrument of discomfort. This firearm eliminates that issue entirely. It registers at an almost incredible 4.8 pounds, without optics lighter than numerous full-size handguns many continue carrying on the hip as reserve. Such minimal mass achievement avoids shortcuts, instead deriving from intelligent premium development, preserving lethal precision without charging for unneeded weight. The primary innovation begins with flash forge technology within the stock. This exceeds basic injection molded plastic construction prone to bending under load. It constitutes an authentic monocoque carbon fiber framework assembled through aerospace-level methods, removing internal gaps and superfluous material, resulting in a chassis of exceptional firmness for zero retention on distant shots, yet sufficiently light to nearly disappear from awareness during extended observation and pursuit periods. They combine this with a titanium receiver, further decreasing mass relative to stainless or steel, while providing corrosion resistance amid saturated harsh weather affecting other components. The bolt incorporates spiral fluting to expel mud, snow, or pine debris without obstruction, and the barrel demonstrates Christensen leadership in lightweight precision, consisting of 416R stainless steel enclosed in high modulus carbon fiber, supplying the firmness and thermal management of heavy contour designs absent the mass-burdening legs on steep climbs. That carbon enclosure disperses heat rapidly, so suppressor use or successive shots at moving targets maintain lock point of impact rather than shifting from temperature changes. In chamberings such as 300 PRC or 7mm PRC, one obtains flat paths and substantial power extending beyond typical hunter comfort zones, while the firearm balances ideally for offhand stability or rapid shouldering from a sling. The Trigger Tech trigger releases sharply and cleanly, permitting rounds to impact exactly at crosshair placement absent travel interference. Now we address honestly the compromises, since nothing at this mass achieves flawlessness. Titanium mechanisms risk binding if lubrication receives neglect, requiring consistent maintenance to preserve bolt fluidity, otherwise resistance develops, resembling movement through dense material. Regarding recoil on a platform below 5 pounds chambered in robust options like 300 PRC, it delivers forceful impact unless one maintains secure positioning. This explains inclusion of a side baffle muzzle brake, and retaining it prevents extended bruising. Current street pricing centers near $3,000, occasionally decreasing during promotions or increasing with specialized chamberings and finishes. The expense exceeds most factory options, yet compensates through advanced components and assembly, supplying custom-grade results in a configuration challenging replication by most custom builders at equivalent mass. And standing tall at number 1, the Bergara Premier Canyon. I transported this firearm far into elevated elk territory during the previous autumn amid gathering storm systems over the ridges and gusts threatening to dismantle the summits, and from initial steps, it integrated as a natural balanced extension of the arm prepared for use. This exceeds fragile minimal mass equipment, compromising capability for weight reduction, instead bridging effectively between complete custom precision assemblies typical of long-range benches and genuine mountain lightweight options one trusts amid deteriorating conditions when the shot demands success. The core involves the Premier mechanism, featuring a floating bolt head self-adjusting for uniform lug engagement on every cycle, ensuring consistent precision regardless of repetitions or chamber contamination from travel through loose rock or vegetation. Combine that with the cone-shaped bolt nose, and feeding operates with exceptional smoothness despite mud, snow, or pine debris accumulation, without obstructions or malfunctions when the bull emerges at 400 yards. It integrates into an AG Composites carbon fiber stock molded for firmness and resilience rather than hollow, flexible characteristics of economical synthetics. This remains rigid under pressure, dampens vibration, and sustains group tightness following extended pack transport. The Trigger Tech frictionless release ranks among superior factory triggers, delivering sharp response absent travel, activating like fragile material under ideal strain, permitting exact shot execution. I utilized the 300 PRC variant for its flat path and power on sizable game at distance, and the supplied Omni muzzle brake performs effectively, converting potential shoulder impact into controlled manageable force, permitting sustained aim for additional shots when necessary. Near 6.5 pounds equipped with optics and prepared, it registers slightly heavier than certain sub-5 pound minimal options discussed previously like the Christensen, yet this represents deliberate exchange, gaining substantial durability, improved thermal control, and a base resisting flex or zero deviation during awkward stances on inclined terrain or following hours in freezing precipitation. The street price centers near $2,500, currently establishing an advantageous range where one compensates proven Spanish barrel expertise, premium elements, and genuine field dependability without advancing to complete custom territory, easily doubling or tripling expenses. It avoids designation as the absolute minimal mass firearm available, yet for the individual desiring a single dominant option, disappearing adequately on the pack during approach, while supplying custom-grade precision and resilience when other equipment falters. This qualifies as the mountain sovereign. One commits resources here because it sustains the family amid deteriorating situations, retains zero through extreme environments, cycles reliably amid contamination or saturation, and instills assurance the subsequent shot, the decisive one following days of effort, will impact precisely as intended. Absent justifications or concessions when significance peaks, this constitutes the firearm selected when the pursuit risks evolving into endurance, and each instance validates its position atop the ranking. There you have it. 13 rifles exceeding mere display items stored away. They function as genuine survival instruments. Cease depending on economical equipment that risks failure during critical moments. Acquire the appropriate instrument, master its operation, and abandon justifications.